Hi, and welcome to Wellbeing Wednesday. And I'm really, really pleased because today is Random Acts of Kindness Day, and I've been joined by Rachel Atkinson, my fellow Random Acts of Kindness person from Red Feather Consulting. And we're going to tell you a little bit today about Random Acts of Kindness Day. So Rachel, do you know how it started?
Yeah, so I think it was actually started over in the US. A foundation, the Random Acts of Kindness Foundation, was formed in Denver, Colorado back in 1995. And that's sort of like a movement that started in promoting random acts of kindness. And then in New Zealand in 2004, that's when they had the first Random Acts of Kindness Day. And that sort of took all sorts of different forms, from people that work with people leaving post-its and just sort of promoting different things that people could do just to bring a smile to someone's face and make them feel better. And since then it's taken off over the world. So we share the same date today, February the 17th, as the US, but other countries have different days in sort of September and October. But it's just a really great thing to do. We shouldn't have to have an excuse to make someone feel good, but it's a really good reminder.
It is a good reminder, actually. So what does it mean to you? What kind of thing do you get up to?
So over the years, I've done sort of different things. This year's going to be different because obviously I'm not in an office with people. But yeah, in the past, I might have just left post-its for people, or left little bunches of flowers or thank you cards on people's desk. Sometimes it's anonymous. Sometimes I'll say it's me, because it's not about, it makes me feel good just by doing it. And that's a great thing about, doing a good deed. It makes you feel good as well as the person that's like in the receipt of the good deed. Or just little things like ring someone out of the blue, or send a message to somebody, uh, give someone a compliment, but properly. Or also other things like, on social media. So often we just go and like, or we lurk and don't even like. But actually, if you like something that someone's put on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, then tell them why. Don't just like it, go in and tell them why they liked it, because they've obviously put themselves out there by posting.
It's funny, one of the first things you said was about post-it notes. And when my kids were little and I did their packed lunches for school, sometimes I used to put little notes in their packed lunches.
Mhm.
As they got older, they didn't like it so much. I think they were a bit embarrassed. But when they were really tiny, they loved it. They thought it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it sets an example. My daughter does the same for me. And in fact, I've got one I can see right just past my screen now from my daughter that says, "You're so kind and caring." And the
Oh,
fact that she took the trouble to do that, that keeps and that sort of thing, that's quite motivational. So I think it's important to set that example of being kind.
absolutely. So that kind of brings me on to the benefits. We were talking before about the benefits of being kind, and that it's not only a benefit to the recipient, but also how the person performing the random act feels. So tell me a bit about how you feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you don't know what people are going through. So I think it's really nice. It's a positive mindset, isn't it? To think about something nice to do to somebody, it puts you in a positive mindset. So straight away, that sort of promotes a good place to be. I actually remember last year, I just bought some daffodils. They're not expensive. And then because I'm really cheap, I split them up and put them into little bunches of 4 and 5. And I just went and dropped them on people's desks and left a little note saying "Happy Random Act of Kindness Day." And and I don't know why, but I chose one particular lady. I just thought, maybe she would appreciate it. And she came through and found me and hugged me. And she said she'd split up with her partner, and her kids had gone off for the first time. He now lived on the other side of the world, and her kids had just gone off to spend a week with him. And she was feeling really low, and that just changed her day. And actually, that made me feel really good that I'd, made such a difference to her day. And, I don't know why I chose that woman, but it was just, to know that I'd made her feel better when she was obviously having a really tough time,
Yeah.
made me feel a little bit better about myself as well.
It's huge, isn't it? I mean, I sent out a few candles to a few people with some challenges on. And when I started to hear back from those people, that they'd sort of like completed their challenge, or they were really chuffed to receive it, I was absolutely over the moon. And while we're here, I must say a huge thank you to you for my book. Um, my Ambassador of Kindness notebook. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. And I had a smile from ear to ear when that came through the post. So thank you very much for
Hooray.
that. So what can we do to mark the occasion? Random Acts of Kindness Day. What are we going to do?
So for me, again, it doesn't have to be a big gesture. I mean, big gestures are always nice, but I guess this month I've thought I'm not spending as much as I would normally do on going out eating and drinking cocktails. So I've probably got a few more pennies in the bank than I would normally have.
Mm.
So I must admit, I've arranged to send flowers to a couple of people just who've really supported me in the last year and just want to say thanks to. I've got a list of people that I'm going to sort of message and say hi to, but actually not just hi and sort of a, you know, without meaning, but actually really speak to them and say, how are you doing? And just check in and make sure people are okay. So I do it with my daughter as well. She's got a sort of a list of people that she hasn't seen, some of her friends. So we've made up little parcels of sweets and we're going to drop them off at a few people's houses just to say, hi, thinking of you. And then, like I say, on social media, I'm going to try not to just like, but just actually go in and properly comment on people and just
Yeah,
think about people that have had a positive impact on me and just try and pay it back. And then what I really want people to do is pay it forward. So, you know, if something's happened to you, then and think how good that's made you feel. But just think again, what's a small gesture that you can do? You know, we could do big gestures. I know that you've paid for someone's shopping before, and I,
that
like
was
lots of
only a little bit
people.
of shopping. It wasn't huge.
No, but again, it's just a small thing that someone would appreciate. And, you know, there's a lot of coffee shops and things now. Again, it's difficult because we don't go out as much where, you know, you can put one in the pot for somebody who might not be able to afford one. So there's that sort of thing. Or just, you know, look for people that might need help. If you've got a certain skill, you know, there's a lot of community WhatsApp groups, you know, that have sort of sprung up out of lockdown and things, you know, offer some help to somebody. Is there something that you can do to help someone out? But like I say, doesn't have to be big and grand. It doesn't have to cost a fortune. It's just a small thing. And just think, what can I do to make someone smile today?
Absolutely. The other day, I tried to get a coffee delivered to a homeless person that was sat in McDonald's car park. And that got really complicated and I got really cross. And so, yeah, I had to sort that out. But you're right. But we were saying before as well that there are some people in certain lines of work that can offer help and assistance to those that are really suffering at the moment. And one of the things that we mentioned was helping people with a job search. People that have a background in HR and things like that, maybe offer to help somebody rewrite their CV, point them in directions of companies that are looking to hire. And I think at the moment with the current climate, I think that's something quite important. And another one that I really like is gifting an inspirational book to somebody. And Chris Muirhead did a wonderful, he shared a TED talk on LinkedIn, which was absolutely fantastic. So, but yeah, there's lots and lots of things that people can do if you just think about it for 5 minutes to really, really make somebody's day.
Absolutely. And I think so often we do forget as well, just because we know something and it's common sense to us, you know, for other people. So, you know, they're helping with a CV or a bit of interview support or something like that. That's not always, you know, especially if you've got someone who might have been made redundant recently, who's been in the same job for a long time, you know, it's quite overwhelming. So
Absolutely.
I'm happy to put that out now. If anyone's stuck at the moment, then, you know, drop me a message through LinkedIn and I'm more than happy to help.
It's fantastic. Thank you. And ditto, same here. So thank you so much for joining me today, Rachel. And the Random Acts of Kindness Day today, please, please, please reach out, do something. But not just today, just make it part of your weekly routine. Just reach out to somebody, do something nice, because it will come back to you tenfold. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Thanks, Sandy.